Hey book buddies, and welcome back to another episode of Sarah's Reviewing Books. And in this episode I'm going to be reviewing The Postmistress of Paris by Waite Clayton, which is a book that I received from HarperCollins New Zealand, but as always I promise to give a completely honest review. This is a historical fiction set within World War II France. We spend time in Free France and in occupied France. This is the first historical fiction that I have read in like over a year that I've actually finished and really enjoyed. For whatever reason, I've been really struggling with finding historical fiction that I, as a fantasy reader, completely connect with. This one took the reins for that one. So well done. I found it really interesting. It was very captivating, and it spent time looking at what life was like within occupied France and also in Free France, which the comparisons and just generally like the struggles of life during that time in France's history. It is inspired by the real life Chicago heiress Mary Jane Gould, who worked with American journalist Varian Fry to smuggle artists and intellects out of France. So that is still an element within this story. That whole premise talks about the efforts that just ordinary everyday French people took to help each other is kind of amazing, and that's definitely talked about in here as well. There is an element of found family in here. It talks about relationships, about grief, about love, about family in general. There is a bit of a romance that weaves its way through it. It's very sweet, kind of along the lines of a slow burn. It's really well written, and there are elements of French interspersed throughout it, which is really cool because it is set in France and technically all of the characters are speaking French to each other the majority of the time. The main character, she is American. With her and a couple of characters, I think they speak English, but primarily in reality they were speaking French all the time, so it's really cool to have a few bits of French interspersed. One thing is that I did find that the ending seemed a little bit rushed. Like, I wish that maybe there was a little bit more. It's another one of those books that's really good for the majority of the way through it, but when we got to the ending I was a bit like, oh, that's it, that's where this whole thing is gonna end. You're not gonna give us any more. I would like to know what kind of happened next, maybe after the war, like a little like epilogue of kind of what her life was like after the war. Did she meet up with her love interest and his daughter in America? Like, what happened when the war ended in 1945? Also, what does she do throughout the rest of the war? Ending very sudden, very rushed, and a little bit confusing too. I will say that this title is a little bit misleading because we spend probably only like one chapter in Paris. The rest of it is pretty much in Marseille. But maybe The Postmistress of Marseille was a bit much to put on a front cover. I mean, technically she did live in Paris before the war, but then like throughout